Welcome to the Inspired by Jacqueline podcast, a refreshing place for women struggling with entrepreneurship, faith, or infertility. Stay tuned for today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to the episode of Inspired by Jacqueline podcast. I have another amazing special guest. She's a colleague, she's a friend, she is an amazing human, and I cannot wait for you to tune into our conversation. It's going to be amazing. So, without further ado, I want to introduce to you Ilse Diamant. She is the CEO and a multi entrepreneur. She doesn't have that in her bio, but she needs to add that. Multi entrepreneur of Diamant events, etc. She is based in Mexico, the lovely and beautiful Mexico. And I'll let her share a little bit more about that. Like you know, I don't read the full bio, find it in the show notes, but I want to share her from my perspective. She is a superwoman. She is super amazing, genuine, loving, gracious, and I am grateful to have her in my life. She is an educator. She is a showstopper. She is a leader. She is, oh my gosh, she's just truly amazing. And everything that she does is with a purpose and with kindness and for the industry and everyone around her to grow. So, Miss Ilse, hello.
Hi, Jacqueline. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
No, thank you for being here. Tell me if you want to add a little bit more to your intro,
Oh
please
my
share.
gosh, you made me blush with all those nice things that you say about me. It's very nice always to know how people look at you because it's difficult for one to look at ourselves the way
Yeah.
that we are projected outside. So thank you for that insight. Well, I would only add that I'm really, truly passionate about destination weddings and the romance industry. That's how we call it in Mexico. It's the travel, tourism, romance industry. And actually, one of those multitasks that I have is being the director for Latin America of the Destination Wedding Specialist Association. And I can proudly say that I am a local expert for
Woo.
everything wedding and event related in the Mexican Caribbean.
Yes, and let me tell you that it is so true. I mention you to people because I was like, oh, you need something in Mexico? I got your person right away. If she doesn't know, she'll direct you to exactly the person in that location, etc. So if you're in the industry and you need some guidance or whatnot, she is your go-to person. And yeah, if she doesn't have the answer, she will find it and direct you to the right persons. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, what do you do in the mornings when you wake up? What is your regimen? What do you do in the morning?
Well, it's a tricky question, I will say, because I have never been a morning person. I was more of let's work until late night hours, so I couldn't get up early in the morning. But ever since I turned 40, which is like just yesterday, ever since I turned 40, something like shifted. And now I'm just really eager to wake up every morning. The first thing that I do, really, really smile. I smile and I
Awesome.
say, thank you. I have a new day and a new
Aw.
exciting day, you know? And even though, because I have to mention this, I've been through very, like most women my age, different changes in the hormones and all those things that we
Mm-hmm.
don't talk about. I
Mm-hmm.
have had my dark days and waking up has been a little difficult. But this just smiling, the first thing that I do has really helped me through. You know, like it's not gonna be a perfect day, but at least I started with a smile.
I love that. I love that. And that so resonates because you never know. Each day is different, and being able to, especially not everyone, there's a big percentage of people who are not able to physically smile. So having that privilege to be able to smile, that's just, amazing. So that is really super great. Let's get into a few questions. Tell me about how you started off being an entrepreneur.
I started by accident, I can say. I studied hotel management
Uh-huh.
in college back in the day.
Back in the
And
day.
back in the day. And I really was always very eager to learn more about conventions and groups and all that area in the hotel management business that had to do with events. But never ever did I think that all of that was going to make me become wedding planner or even destination weddings. So I
Mhm.
started as an entrepreneur when I came back to Cancun from Spain because I had a scholarship to go learn in Spain more about hotel management. And there in Spain, I started working as a waiter in
Oh, wow.
events for the hotel where I was doing my internship. So they had an opening to work as a waiter during the events they had, and they were super popular for weddings. That's when I fell in love with weddings. And I said, what? I love this. So when I came back to Cancun, I said, I know what I want to do. I want to do weddings. I don't know what. I don't know what, but weddings. So it was a little bit hard because I had no one to guide me or
Mhm.
teach me what was the next step. How do you start? Is this a thing? Does this even work for Mexico or Cancun or whatever? So a friend of mine in college, a friend of mine that I had when I was studying in college, we were chatting one day and he said, you know what? My cousin back in Monterrey, that's the northern part of Mexico, she just acquired a franchise for butterfly release. And I said, like, what? I'm not a biologist. I don't want to do anything with butterflies. Like, he's like, no, 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 no. Talk to her. Talk to her. So I mean, like 3 weeks went by. We chatted again, and funny. It was ICQ or something like that. We chatted again. And he said, did you talk to my cousin? And I said, no. So that same day, I said, I'm going to talk to her. I talked to her, and she explained to me everything about the butterfly release business, which was like, I'm talking about 2004, okay?
Wow.
It was like backward.
Mhm.
It was just starting, at least here in Mexico. And I talked to her, she told me all about it, and I said, wow, I love it. There's nothing like it. Nobody has seen it before. I'm going to be the first one doing something that's never been done before in my town,
Mhm.
in my destination. So then, fast forward, work things out, starting doing the butterfly release. I had the franchise for 3 years. I became number one seller for all the country.
Wow.
I opened all the destinations here. So I created my own way of doing things, and that really taught me a lot about being an entrepreneur. And
Mhm.
something that I really learned from that was knocking on doors, even if they don't want to open them, keep knocking.
Mm.
Because that was the only way. People, I emailed them and I called them, but they didn't understand what it was. So I really had to go and tell them, it's this, look, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
So this is how I became an entrepreneur.
Wow. And so I see that it's been a long journey, right? So what struggles has come upon being an entrepreneur?
Well, the first one was not having enough experience in my head, like in my
Mhm.
perception. Because actually, and this is something that I find entrepreneurs struggle with a lot, is with saying, but I don't have enough experience to do it.
Right.
But what I found is that this is kind of an imposter syndrome, but backwards,
Mhm.
because it's like something that is not allowing you to move forward just by you having this idea. It's just an idea. Remember that whatever is in your head are just ideas. It doesn't mean it's a fact. It's
Right.
just, it has not actually happened. So it's just this simple idea that I didn't have enough experience to start my wedding planning business or move forward with the next chapter, like after the butterfly thing was already something that I didn't want to be working on anymore, like how to restart everything, like all of those stages that we go through as entrepreneurs. For me, that was like the biggest struggle, because
Mm,
you can freeze, like
yeah.
you lose a lot of time just thinking about how to do it, instead of moving forward and just do the thing. It's a trial and error.
Right.
That's how life works. That's what we've done since we were young. How did we learn to walk? By falling down. It's that
Right.
simple.
And what
But,
about support?
well, okay, you know me, but people that are listening to us, really, they're just getting to know me right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, I'm a people's person.
Yes.
So I have believed since day one that you can, of course, do a lot of things by yourself, but the way to make it bigger and better is by making it together.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started out in this entrepreneur road, I really found out that I had to be contacting associations, groups, like minded people, so that we could build community together and
Mm-hmm.
help each other. Because when you find out there are other people that are having the same struggles as you, then you
Mm-hmm.
also find answers to all your questions. And this makes you not only feel that you're not alone, but also that you have that support.
Yeah.
And I have the great fortune that not only did I started the butterfly business here in Cancun, we were so young with the destination wedding business as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was part of the pioneers of the movement here. So I had that fortune that I said, you know what? Let's join groups. Let's make associations. But people here in the beginning were not like really, I don't know, they didn't have like that spirit.
That
So
motivation.
yeah. I have been always, like this. I cannot stop. I'm always moving. Like I, I feel that I have like
It's like
a,
for me, one moment you're in Mexico and one moment you're in a different world. So I'm like, okay, where's she now?
yeah.
Where's Waldo? Where's Ilse?
It's like a hyperactive brain. I don't know, like this energy. I can say I was born with a lot of energy. Like it's too much. So I started traveling to meet like-minded professionals in other parts of the world. So, and I didn't mention this before, I also have two wedding venues in Riviera Maya. One's a private beach, the other one's a oceanfront garden. But with that product, I started travel, going to every conference, if there was a course, I would go and take it, like just connect with people. Twitter was like a big thing. I met an amazing person that on that time had like this big platform on Twitter that was called Twitter Wedding International Pals. It was called Twips. And
Oh,
I met the creator and we like started doing, like this idea of, okay, let's do exchanges with the weddings. And like, I just like, boom, I went and saw like all this world, that there were a lot of people crazy like me that really were very
okay.
passionate about this industry and that wanted to make a difference for the rest of the people in the
Right.
industry. So with that, I came back, more energy and more passion to inject to everyone here. And moving forward, 2011, the first association of Cancun was created,
Mm-hmm.
ACIBEP, and I got to be part of it as vice president for 11 years of my life.
Wow.
So yes, totally support community,
Mm-hmm.
join like-minded professionals, because that really helps a lot.
Yeah, it does. And so you mentioned something interesting, that you've traveled and you've connected with people outside of Mexico. So do you feel that based on your experience being from Mexico and connecting with so many people worldwide, that entrepreneurs have similar struggles from one end of the world to the other? And if
Yes.
so, name me one or two or three.
Well, I could say that there's definitely a lot of struggles that are very similar because no matter what industry or what kind of entrepreneur you are, you will always find similarities because the road is really the same.
Mhm.
There's a starting point and there's an objective, like there's a goal that you want to reach. So I really feel that if I have to talk about three things that I find very common, I would say the answer to these three questions will give you like those three ideas. Okay. So, first of all, I would say ask yourselves, what problems do you feel most passionate about solving?
Mm,
Because I have found that I'm a creative problem solver. That's like what I am. Entrepreneurs, that's what we do. We're constantly solving
mhm,
problems in a creative way. So just ask yourself, what kind of problems am I more passionate about solving? So that would be one. The
mhm.
other one is, what skills do you enjoy using the most? Because we all have skills, but very different.
Oh,
We are
yes.
never, we can, I could not compare my story to your story, Jacqueline. Your story
Mhm.
is also amazing, successful, but we're different people and we
Yes,
have different skills. So
yes.
just think about which are the ones that you enjoy using the most. Because once you take this road, you're going to be using them a lot and you have to be focused on really which ones, like the ones that you are, well, more natural to be
Right,
using. And
right.
the last one I would say is, what would you do if money was not important?
Oh, I love that one.
Because this one is the breaking point.
Yeah.
This is the breaking point. When you're an entrepreneur, it's easy to say, do what you love. I mean, that's the idea, but
Hmm.
how do you do it? How do
Right.
you know what you love? Well,
Hmm.
if money was not important, if you didn't need money, if you are not doing this to make money, so what would you be doing?
Mm,
That's interesting. And what you will do with the answer of these three questions is write them down together, look at them, and build your entrepreneur philosophy.
mm. I love that. I love that you gave kind of like a step by step pattern that is exactly what I feel you need to ask yourself as an entrepreneur. And I love that last one because that last one sometimes I think if you don't think about that last one, it stops you from looking ahead, right?
I just wanted to add something. As you said, I multitask entrepreneur. I do a lot of things from a long time. And my husband is completely the opposite. But he always brings these insights to my life that he helps me like narrow down and just look at things from a different perspective. And just yesterday, I was talking to him about how I was feeling about something that I was, what happens to us that sometimes we're just feeling we're not good enough and stuff like that. And I was talking to him and he just turned at me and said, you are already there. Just look at it and
Yeah.
stop trying to just stop trying to be part of something, reach a goal, like stop trying. You're
You're
already
already there.
there. So that's also very important because many people struggle about really finding out what they like in life.
Hmm.
But I think we should start by writing down what we don't like. So
Yeah.
then we can have it more clear about, okay, maybe I don't know what I like, but this is what I don't like. So maybe we can start clearing so we can see that we're already there. You're already there when your mind, your heart, and your soul
Mm,
know that this is where you have to be.
mm. Love it. So tell me, How do you enjoy your time off?
Well, it's different now than before.
Okay.
I will talk about the present. I really enjoy my time off with my husband and my family. And
Mm,
by family, I mean my parents and my sisters
mm-hmm,
and whoever's here near, or if I have to go visit them, because some of them live abroad,
mm-hmm,
and my niece. Like in this stage of my life, family has become like, wow. I mean, I remember that family was my rock back when I was a kid.
mm-hmm.
And
So it's like
then,
full circle.
yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. Yeah, totally. Because
Mm.
not that friends are not important, don't get me wrong. I
Right. No, I
still feel
understand.
that friends are very, very important, but it's just like right now, I have just this priority.
Yeah.
Like the little time that I get to really create these moments that are quality moments to spend with
Mm-hmm.
them, my preference will be them. So if
Mm,
they say go to a party or a dinner with friends, or just go visit your parents to, I don't know, have a chat or just to kiss them or hug them, I prefer that.
I love that because, my journey shifted 5 years ago when I'm an only child, and I grew up with my mom and she raised me. And when that time comes as you're getting older, I'm the only one that she had, but not just the only one, because my husband, he was my support during this whole journey. So 5 years ago was when we noticed that she was kind of like not herself. And that's when we first learned and saw that she was changing and she was diagnosed with dementia. And so I had to reshift and change how I approach my business, the things that I was doing, the time, where I was investing my time. And that completely changed everything because I was always going to networking events, all these other things, which at that point didn't make sense because there was an important reason. And so I was able to take time to reshift. And you mentioned something important, quality time. And that will never come back again if you don't focus. When you hear it and you know in your gut that you need to do that, it won't come again. So, one thing that my husband, because he went through it with his parents before, he said, you know what we need to do? We need to create quality moments for her. And that's going to help as her mind starts changing a little bit more. And we did that. And would you know that all the way through the end, because my mother passed in June, but all the way through the end, she remembered us. She was forgetting everyone else, but she remembered both of us. There were some special moments, and they were in the place that we had her in the nursing home, and then in the other location that we had her. There were pictures of the three of us and special moments, and that kept her. So as an entrepreneur, we need to see both sides of our lives, right? We need to see what we're working towards and the passion to what we're investing in, but also keeping in mind, for those of you who have families, keeping them close. And because time flies, right? And then everything just goes so fast that these quality moments we miss out on. So I'm glad that you shared that.
I'm
I,
almost crying.
I see you holding on, and I'm trying not to because, yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It,
because I totally connect
woo,
with everything you said. And that's how it is. If someone that is very young or starting an entrepreneur can listen to us that already did all of this experience and we're way ahead on the road. And it's this really, it's hard, but when you look back, you wish you had more time for things.
wow. Whew. I need to catch my breath because I definitely agree. If you're starting out in entrepreneurship, it's a long journey, it's hard. And like Isa said, if we can impart words of wisdom, it would be that, you know, it would be holding on to those quality moments. I know you're going to invest time and work, but just have an understanding there's 24 hours to the day. What can you do in 24 hours? And how can you capture moments that you can still have a personal life and enjoy those important moments? So, okay. I don't even know where to go from this because I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Woo! How do you feel you are different now than 5 years ago?
Oh, well, how do I feel different now than 5 years ago? I will say that, ah, I have one. I no longer do what is expected from me.
Mm. You're
That,
sharing some nuggets that are like, woof, you're dropping the mic every single time.
you know how I am very, ¿cómo se intense. I'm very intense. No, but really, really, this is something that I have it very clear, both in my personal and my professional life. No longer doing what is expected from me. Whatever is your expectations of what my life should be, or what I should be doing, or have to be doing, that doesn't have to do anything with me. That's just your perception of whatever I'm reflecting to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel free from that idea that I imposed to myself. Nobody told me that I had to do that.
Right.
That was me on my own through all my life, to my experiences, through my education, through my family, the friends, the country, the whatever I'm growing around, that I had this idea that I had to fulfill certain roles in the industry, certain roles
Mm-hmm.
in the family, certain roles as a friend, as a la la la, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I started listening to people talking about, like, how really we talk about freedom, but what we are never talking about is the real freedom is when you get to cut those chains that have you trapped in your mind.
Mm, mm,
So really, that's what this changed for me a lot, because now I'm a people person, but I'm not people pleaser. So
mm-hmm.
I'm not anymore doing anything because I know that is what I should do. It's just because this is who I am. This is what I am. And if you feel that I should be doing it different, then I'm really sorry. But
Yes.
this life that I'm living is mine.
Yes.
So if you
Yes.
say, what are you doing different? I would say, I really taking control of my life in
I
all of
love
its
that.
senses. Because really, there's nothing that I can control. I cannot control climate change or
Mm-hmm.
politics or economy or, like, I don't know. I cannot control anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I can control my life. I can be in full control.
Yeah, I definitely love that. I feel that I've always felt for me that I've always been unique because I don't allow anything to control me. And, I think I learned that because my mom was very strict. And so it's like I learned that control thing earlier in my life, being an only child and my mom being the only parent. And there was this control there. And I came to a point in my life early on that it's like, yeah, no, I can't do this. And I need to have a separation in that, okay, now I'm older, I need to make decisions for me, right? And it doesn't mean you're disrespecting anybody, but it's a matter of, well, they had their life to live or they have their life to live. Well, now I have to take ownership of my life and how that's going to move ahead. So I feel I've always been like an oddball in the midst of, a population because I've always stayed true to that things that I do might be out of the blue, so different. And people like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? It's like, it's me. Like, maybe you have a picture of me and it's jumping different, but you set that picture. Just because I do things a certain way doesn't mean that I'm always going to do it that way. I have God in my life, and the first thing is following that path and that journey, and whatever opportunities are being put in my life, if it resonates with me, I'm going to go with it. So I've always been unique with that, but it is hard because, some people have those expectations, and then they either are confused as to when they hear or look at it, and it's like, okay, I keep it walking. If you want to be a part of my life, just you could come with me and join me. But other than that, like, this is me, and that's it.
And yes, I was talking to my sister a few years ago, and we came up with this like exchange of ideas. And when I told her, that everything you think is just ideas in your mind, but
Yes.
they're not real. And
Yes.
she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, all of your ideas are not real until you make them and turn them into something.
Right.
So if they are not physically, like if you don't turn them into something, then it means they're just ideas in your head. And if they're just in your head, they're not real. So she was just like, and I said, yeah, now get rid of all of that thing that is just pulling you back.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh. All right. So, next thing, if you had a choice to create a superpower, what would it be?
Oh my God. Okay. Follow me on this one, okay? Because it's a little
She's
different.
going in.
If I had a choice to create a superpower in my life, it would be life in balance.
Mm,
And I will tell you why. Living in balance, it's like really a superpower I would like to have because I don't have it.
mm,
I really want to be empowered with like just every challenge that comes to me, just like living it through with grace, resilience, and with the balance of maintaining my physical, mental, and emotional health.
mm,
Like I can really explain that this superpower would enable me to harmonize all of my aspects in life
mhm,
and to be really skilled with using my energy to set specifically what it needs to be done with work, family, health, and all of personal growth. So I
I love
really
that.
feel, yeah, because I really feel that this is something that would not only help me. If I had that superpower, I could teach others how to reach it and how to be really able to recognize your priorities, to set your boundaries, and to
Mhm.
know when to say yes or no to the commitments that we commit to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have no words. I'm just like, okay, let me know how that turns out, when you find that, and what the secret is. Okay, because
Well, if I can, that really, if I can find out how to make that superpower work, I would really just like open it up to all the world and let everybody know how to obtain it because
because it
really
doesn't
this is
exist.
it
It doesn't
doesn't
exist.
exist.
Yeah.
This is really, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, superpower is like invisibility or running fast or na na na. No, superpower really is having a life imbalance when you're an entrepreneur. This superpower, who has
Yeah.
it? Tell
Yeah.
me. We
Yeah.
all need
Yeah.
it.
So you and I have some ideas that stand out and identifies and embraces our uniqueness, right? So what do you think is important for entrepreneurs to learn about their unique and authentic selves?
Well, I think it's very important, first of all, to find out who you are.
Mhm.
And the best way to find out who you are, it's really just taking a step back and connecting with yourself.
Mm,
We came to live this human experience, but we spend so many time in our lives trying to connect with others and trying to make sure that other people see us. But
mm-hmm,
am I seeing me? Do I know who I am? If I cannot recognize my uniqueness, if I cannot recognize who I am, what makes me special, what is this thing that stands me out from the rest? Because no human is alike. No one is not even similar to any other. So
mm-hmm.
when I can find what makes me special and unique, then I can really embrace it, and it will
Wow.
only flow. It just flows. You don't have to make anything. You
Mm,
don't have to work towards, like, this is what I am and this is what makes me unique. I'm going to work on it so that everybody can see. No. All
mm-hmm,
you have to do really, and this is, I'm sharing from my own experience, but I have seen it work in other people, because I have seen how people that are unique and by just being themselves, they just get recognized, because that's what we need, just everybody to tune in to their own self, and then, like a popcorn, you will just pop, and then you will stand out from the rest. And it's not that difficult. The difficult part, as we have been talking about, is just in your mind believing that you're something that you're not.
mm-hmm.
So really, it's not about making questions, it's just about feeling
Yeah.
like, like everything we've been talking today can lead you to finding out what makes you unique. And maybe there are no words to describe it. How can I describe somebody like you, Jacqueline? Like, I cannot really put into words to say what makes you unique. I can tell you what you make me feel.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, like, the things that I can vibe about you, and that I can say that that is really something that makes you unique. But this is something more, I would even say spiritual, if you know what I mean. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like it's okay, this is step 1, step 2, step 3.
Right.
It's just like we all have it. And this
Mm-hmm.
is something that we're born with. It's just trying to connect with it and making sure that you are living to own it.
And it's so funny. I shared a post on my Instagram inspired by Jacqueline, and it was taking a moment to be vulnerable for yourself, writing it down, then revisiting what you wrote down, and really looking at it and just doing this for yourself, and then allowing yourself to be true to yourself. That in itself is what you just shared. It's just because if you're not true to yourself, don't focus on outside, and because that leads into the imposter syndrome. It's like I've been hearing the imposter syndrome so much. It's like that word, pivot, that we heard so much during COVID, right? We hear imposter syndrome so much that, it's as simple as what you said and what I shared, being true to yourself. You don't have to share that with everyone. It's just taking a moment to understand you and where you're at so that you can refocus internally and be happy with who you are, right? And then just from there, being an entrepreneur, you have an understanding and a focus that you're able to love and keep the journey going.
Yes. If your uniqueness is to be very passionate about something, inject that passion to whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
and then you will have an entrepreneurship with a lot of passion around this specific topic that you're moving towards. And then the rest, it's really less difficult. I will not say more easy. I will just say less
There
difficult.
is nothing easy. And once you've passed a challenge or a situation or a struggle, know that there's more situations coming around the corner. It's just every situation should be making you better.
Ah, you're reading my mind now.
Yeah, I'm
Because
telling you. I'm telling
because
you.
I was gonna share that I feel that entrepreneurship is like having a kid. You know that I don't have kids, but I have seen my sisters and my friends
Mhm.
like with their babies, and I feel like this. So with kids, it's like once you already understood stage one, and you're like, oh yeah, I got it, they just shift and they change another stage two, and like that, but it never stops. So it's all of their lives that you're just trying to catch
Yeah.
along because they change. The same thing with entrepreneurship. It's like once you feel that you just master it and you're just like, hey, yeah, I'm here, then you're like, oh my God, no, now it's shifted and now I have to, like learn more about it and then try to make it work, but in a way that's good for me and like everything we've been talking about. So
Hmm.
it's a crazy life. I mean, how did we end up like this?
I'm telling you, I don't know, but I'm gonna share another intense moment right now, right? So what I've been sharing with a lot of my guests is, and it kind of sums up what you just finished saying and what we've been talking about. What is important today as an entrepreneur, as a person, may not have been important yesterday and may not be important tomorrow. And what that simply means is your situation changes, as you just mentioned, right? So when you started off as an entrepreneur, your personal life was different, your journey was different. And so you were adjusting to being an entrepreneur at that time. And you shared earlier that your life shifted. And now you're in this current moment, and you are with your husband and you have different goals and think different things that you have set forth for yourself. So your visual, your journey with your entrepreneurship is shifting. And so that's what sometimes, if we stay in the past, your current situation is going to be difficult because you're not shifting with it. Your mindset is staying behind. And every single time you shared it perfectly. As a child, we have different stages. As adults, we have different stages. It's just sometimes we forget that, oh, we're an adult, we're set. No, as kids, we grow up, we have different stages. We have baby, childhood, teenage years, and all that. Now we're adults, and sometimes we feel like, oh, that's it, we're adults and that's it. No, we have stages as an adult. So that's something that I've really resonated with, which is, what is important today may not have been important yesterday, and it will not be important tomorrow because our lives change.
You know
So,
something I just want to add to that,
yes.
because you just nailed it perfectly. And I just want to say I'm just like in shock, because this is something so true and so real, that what happened to me, that I can really relate to what you just shared, is that for years, but I'm telling you, years of my life, I had, in our office here in Cancun, I have a meeting room. So for years, my meeting room walls were filled with all the diplomas and all the certificates of all the courses and everything that I have been to, Congress, participated, speaking, like everything. That wall was filled. Like you couldn't even pin a needle to the wall, because it was years and years of all my accomplishments on this like wall of fame.
Mhm.
Now, today, the same meeting room, empty walls, all in blank, just a safe space where I can concentrate, we can do
Mm,
business, and we can, like grow together, teach courses, whatever. But it shifted. And it's
wow.
like that. But it doesn't mean all of my accomplishments are no longer important for me. They are. They will always be important for me.
Hmm.
But what's not important now for me is to show them. It's not important for me that everybody knows when they come to my office everything that I've accomplished. So, as you say, different stages, but it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that because you are on the stage where you need recognition, that it's not okay. Of
Right.
course, it is. It's
Yeah.
your stage, it's
Right.
not mine.
Right.
I no longer need it. I no longer want it. It's not
Right.
important for me. But
Right.
there are stages. So
Yeah.
this is very, what you shared is very important, because we don't want people to be confused about saying, oh, that's not important, it doesn't have to be important for me.
It's
Remember,
yeah.
it's personal.
Yes.
This is a personal journey.
And what happened in the past, it's not that it's not important, it's that it's not the focus at the moment, right? And so that what I went through and what I've experienced in the past made me who I am now, right? But I have to always shift the focus to my now, because if my mindset stays in the past, it's not going to help me right now. It's going to frustrate me. It's not going to help me focus and all of that. So we're going through like such intense moments right now. We're like going deep. So let me ask you, what is the most important lesson you've learned over your career?
This one's gonna make you laugh. Be careful with what you wish for.
Mm.
This is the most important lesson that I've learned, because this is, again, my path. I've always been a very go to, like, just do it. I never think twice. So there's been a lot of trial and, like, trial and error and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that in my path. And I would say the most important lesson is really think about what you want, okay? Maybe you're not gonna be spending a lot of time developing your plan and everything, because maybe you're like me, very driven to just make it happen and just move along the way. But what something is very important is have in mind what is the goal.
Mm.
Like, really focus on what is the final goal. Like, the road may be different for you. You will maybe just don't want to take the straight road. You like, that doesn't matter. But it's important just to focus on what the goal is, because I identify a lot with those characters in cartoons that are the dogs that get easily distracted with squirrel, I identify with that so much, because I'm easily distracted with other projects while I'm with a project.
Mm.
So the most important lesson is to focus, because of course, once you are in this stage that you're working towards an objective, there will be a lot of projects coming along. There will be a lot of things, and if you want to do them all, then it will be bad for you in many
Mm-hmm.
ways.
Right.
You will be burned out. You will be just like miserable instead of being happy
Right.
and passionate about what you're doing. It's just going to be a lot on your plate. So I would say that's the most important lesson, that I need to be more selective
Mm.
of the goals that I want to be achieving.
And so, with that said, do you have any regrets in choosing the life of being an entrepreneur?
Yes. But in my defense, I really feel that I would have the same regret in any career that
Mm.
I would, like any career. And we already talked about it. It's spending many years of my life focusing on what's not important.
Got it.
Not that it was not important for me then, it has always been important, but I didn't focus on that because I thought that I had no time, or that
Mm.
like, time is the most precious thing that we have, and
Mm-hmm.
we can really manage our time. And when we started talking today, I told you I'm not very good at managing my time. Like, this is something that I need to be better at. And because this is the one regret that I have, is just like not focusing before on the most important things in life. I really believe the essential is invisible to the eye, because this is a
Mm-hmm.
tattoo that I have. And this is a phrase from The Little Prince, one of my favorite books. And I really feel that when they say that, they're talking about that time, that it just goes by. The
Mm.
minute that just passed will never come back again.
Yeah.
And, and we really are not conscious about that. So I would say that this is one of the biggest regrets, but I would have had it in any other career
Mm-hmm.
that I would, because there's this, like I said before, I don't have the balance that I need.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're very passionate about things, well, you're just like a bullet train, just going forward and you're
Yeah.
like pushing through, and then you forget just to slow down, take
Mm-hmm.
time. It's many, I think that many people can resonate with this, because in my life it has happened several times that my body just crashes and I end up in the hospital or
Yeah.
sick, very,
Yeah.
very sick, because I couldn't stop on time.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The first time was scary, but I didn't learn my lesson. So I just
Mm-hmm.
keep saying, okay, you need to be aware of time.
Yeah.
It's, this is like a treasure that we have, and we need to
Mm-hmm.
take care of it and manage it accordingly. So I would say that
Well,
that is.
I want to say that I truly appreciate you for being very transparent with that, because you have so many years under your belt. You have so many accolades, so many amazing things. And, being a leader and just sharing that is just very powerful, because that's what I want my listeners to hear, that, we struggled ourselves and we still do, as an entrepreneur, as a person. And it's, to let everyone know life is not, like you shared, it's not a perfect balance. Things are going to happen, but if we take time to stop, listen, and focus, that we're able to really take a moment, take it in, and refocus. Try to, shut down every noise that's happening. Whatever you're able to shut down the noise to really resonate with finding that peaceful and that pivotal moment, that you're able to allow yourself to say, okay, let me refocus. Let me shut everything down, because I don't want my body to shut down and then I won't have a chance. So thank you for sharing that. What is the biggest takeaway out of our entire conversation, or that you hope that our listeners take with them?
Well, I really hope that our listeners can take away this idea. If you're struggling to find your passion, it can be helpful to look for ways to combine your skills and experience with the things that inspire you.
Mm,
And you can look for ways to bring your passion into your business through side projects, joining groups, like minded people that can help you build connections and build a network of supporters that share your same passion. Always, always listen to your heart, because it really will guide your way. We are born with this compass, but we don't know how to use it. So I would say that remember that you have the power. You were born with a power. Use it, and use it to achieve what you want in this life.
yes, on point. Thank you for everything that you shared. Is there something that we did not cover that you want to share? How they can find you, how they can find information about your villa? I've personally been there and I am in love with it. And even though I'm not a nature person, I was able to take a step and a leap of faith, and I got through it, and it was just an amazing experience.
So first thing, I'm very excited to share that I'm dedicating more and more time over the past 11 years of my entrepreneur life to education. So
Mhm.
now I'm very happy to say that I'm almost done with my book.
Yay!
My book is called The Art of Educating Your Client,
Mm,
and it's really insightful and it's really good. It will help a lot of entrepreneurs, new and more experienced, because we all have a lot of things to learn when it comes to educating our clients in
mhm.
different levels and in different things. And well, the other thing is that I would like to share the information about the villas that we have in Riviera Maya. This is a unique property. It's an oceanfront property in the heart of Riviera Maya. If you have a family, or you want to do a retreat, or you just want to escape from it all, This is a fully walled private property with a coconut grove. It's beautiful garden, the private beach. You have also a cenote right there. That's a natural pool. So it's just like a really nice experience to be in touch with nature, like Jacqueline said. And well, I really want to invite everyone that's listening to us, because this is really a place that is very magical. You need to be there to experience the magic, but it is like every single palm tree we have planted those palm
Mm.
trees. So you get to drink coconuts from these palm trees that have been in our family for decades, and it's very magical. What can I say? I grew
And
up
the
there.
cenote is magical. The bonfire, oh my gosh. It was just really beautiful. Everything's magical.
It's a really nice experience because it's very different from everything else that destination can offer. So when
Mhm.
you have a chance to do something different with a group or family vacation, I think it's really worth it. And the last thing that I would like to add, that I just want to let everybody know, that if you are in the destination wedding planning business or the event business or travel business, that if you want to grow your business, you can connect with me. I'm your local expert. I have been in this for, like I said, almost 20 years. So make sure to connect and we can grow your business together. I would be
Awesome.
very happy.
Thank you so much. If you can share your social media handles, I will be including it in the show notes, but if you could just share it, that would be great.
Yeah, of course. Well, my social media, everything is under Diamant Events,
Mhm.
which is my destination wedding planning company. And then my personal Instagram account is at Luxury Romance Ambassador. And
Awesome.
then when you go to that account, you'll find all my other accounts there. And I have LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, everything. I'll just leave it to Jacqueline to write it down.
Yep.
So if you want to connect, my email as well. And, like,
Awesome. Well,
I'm
thank you
happy.
so
I'm happy
much,
to
my
help.
love. Thank you for joining me and having a chat. And I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you again, give you a big hug, and just spend some time with you because, when we get together, we just go in so deep sometimes. And this is part of the conversation we had today. So I hope that you were able to take in, everything that she shared and that we chatted about. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Isa, again. Kisses to you. And thank you.
Muchas gracias. This was like a great honor for me. You know how
Oh,
much I love you, and sharing this with your audience, and it just fills my heart with so much joy. Thank you so much for being such a good friend, and
mm.
congratulations for this amazing podcast that I love.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining this episode of Inspired by Jacqueline. I am truly, truly thankful for Issa to spend some time with us and bring you in the conversations that her and I usually chat about. Also, how she shared her journey and her transparency. Grateful to have her in my life and grateful that you're able to listen in and tune into our conversation. So, with that said, make sure to subscribe and follow and share this podcast episode and all the other episodes with your friends, with your colleagues, with your family, because there's something in each episode that can apply to so many different people. So definitely tune in, share, follow, and review. This is going to go to the next level. With that said, stay tuned for the next episode of Inspired by Jacqueline podcast. Take care. Bye.